Hello guys, we'll wait for 3 o'clock and we'll wait for people to join and then we can start. Thanks for joining.
Yes.
Guys, everyone, please mute your mics. Some noise is coming. Yeah. Thank you. Hey guys, good afternoon, everyone. We'll wait for 3 more minutes and we can start. So we'll just give 3 more minutes for people to join and we can start with today's session.
You have 2 minutes also, Sudhir.
Okay. Okay, Sujan, sure.
At 3:05.
Okay, sure.
Sujay, start कैसे Sujay?
Okay. Hello guys, welcome. Welcome to today's session. Thanks everyone for joining. So today's agenda is that we'll discuss the demo of OIAnalytics in the first 15-20 minutes. Maybe some of you might have already heard about this, right? After that demo, we'll see some examples of data from the past week, and we'll see how it has or it would have helped you if you're already using the OIAnalytics, right? So to proceed, we'll first start with the features of the product or features of the tool at OIAnalytics, right? So this is what you see here. So what exactly OIAnalytics provides you with is what is listed over here, right? So the first and very important feature of OIAnalytics is live Slack alerts for big and significant positions that are created or exited in the market, right? And we provide this alerts for all derivative segments except stock options. So we are considering that also, but at this point we don't have stock option segment in this, right? And these alerts come every 10 minutes. So a sample of those can be seen here. If you see here, this is a 10-minute alerts that come. So these are the sample of alerts that come in the Slack. So for Nifty, Bank Nifty, they are separated, right? Guys, everyone, request everyone to mute your mics because there's a lot of noise coming in between.
Yes, if you want to join Zoom meeting, please just send me hi message. Zoom meeting going.
Guys, everybody requesting to please mute your mics because it is creating disturbance. It will be disturbance for others. So please consider and mute your mics. Right. So these are the sample alerts that you see, right? For this is for Bank Nifty. So this come every 10 minutes. These alerts come every 10 minutes. So this is the first set of feature that OIAnalytics has, right? So in this, most probably what we do is we we select the highest value one and we track them from time to time. So that is what these alerts provide you, right? And the next thing is we have CE versus PE charts to understand the overall open interest addition or reduction, right? So that we will see, guys, please mute your mics. Again, I'm telling, otherwise I'll remove whoever is doing that from the room, because it creates disturbance for others. Please consider and mute your mics. So I'm going to show you the CE versus P charts. So this is what you see for Nifty. If we want to see by expiry date, you can see the P versus CE. So this is for if you just check for 14th. So this is what the CE versus P charts. In the first 10 minutes, you can see the addition, and so every 10 minutes this chart gets updated, and you can see overall what is happening for a particular expiry. Right, you can see for monthly expiry as well. Right, you can see some put writing coming in. Right. So this is the second feature that we have, CE versus PE charts, to understand the overall open interest addition or reduction for any weekly or monthly expiry. Right. And third thing we have is within the Slack alerts, we have for every 10 minutes, we push this thing called as top 3 added strikes and top 3 reduced strikes. Right. So this helps you understand what strikes are gaining interest in terms of open interest and what strikes the writers are covering their positions. So every 10 minutes this gets updated, and it's a cumulative update. So until that point in the day, what was the top 3 addition or reduction, it will show here, right? So this comes within the alerts channels of Nifty option alerts and Bank Nifty option alerts, right? Now also we can see the individual strike level data to see entry and exit prices of different quantities, right? Let's say as an example, so as an example, let's say on October 14th market close, we are seeing that Bank Nifty top 3 value addition, the strike is 39,500 call, for example, right? So we can go and check what prices these quantities got added in the individual strike level data. So if you go to Delta OI here and you give a date of 14, because Friday was a holiday, and we give an expiry of 21st, and we give Bank Nifty 39,500. It will show a summary over here that a 536,475 quantity got added at an average price of 241.89, and it shows as fresh longs, right? So this is useful on an end of the day basis, whatever the interpretation that is coming over here, whatever I have highlighted. So don't use this in intraday. In intraday, focus on the records over here rather than over here, right? But end of the day, you can definitely consider this price 241.89 and this quantity. And if you see the price already closed at 315, that means these longs have already got some success. And usually these people are expected to get success even going forward, right? Also, you can see at what price major quantities are added. If you see, this is the column where quantity will come, change in OI, right? Here, if you see, the highest quantity of the day came in at 124,000, closing of the market around 320, right? So you can also check that. So that is what this feature is about. Individual strike level data to see the entry and exit prices of different quantities, right? So your focus will also always be on the greater quantities, and the higher the quantity and the higher the premium, it becomes an important data point to track, right? So the higher the quantity and the higher the option premium, so it becomes an important data point to track, right? So these are all the features. This is what OIAnalytics provides you with, right? So now let's move on to how you can.
Yes, just a second. Mohandas sir, can you please switch off your webcam? Mohandas sir, please switch off your webcam.
I think you can do it, Sujan, from your side.
Oh, I can't do it.
Let me do it. I think, guys, everybody request you to please mute your mics.
Just one quick question. If we have a question around anything that you're explaining, should we
Yeah,
wait till the end?
so after I complete the presentation, you can definitely shoot in your question.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, guys. So first thing is that we have discussed what all the guys. Please consider this as a request. Don't create disturbance by unmuting your mic. It disturbs the flow of the.
Sorry, I joined now. I didn't know that it is unmute.
Fine. So first we have discussed the features. Now we'll come to the important part, how you can use it for your trading, right? So see, the core idea of how to use it for your trading is that the core idea we follow is that we try to follow the big guys, right? So for doing that, you should be able to understand what the big guys are doing and what positions in the market are able to influence the market, right? So these see, first thing is you have to be able to identify the positions that are significant, right? And the second thing is you have to be you have to judge whether those positions are able to influence the market, right? So once you identify these, you go along with those positions. I'll show some examples later in the session, so how those positions impacted the market. So your everyday job is to just screen through the alerts and find some important positions with significant value and see how the market is behaving with those positions open, right? So open interest itself means that the positions are still open, right? Until those are open, the market either honors that position or punishes that position, right? So you have to understand how the market is behaving in those positions, and if it is the position is getting successful, you try to go along with it. If the position is going on a failure, you can go against it, right? So this is the approach that we follow. So we try to follow the big guys now. So now what you have to do is that, see, these are the quick gist of what is the approach that we are taking, right? So if you see, track the carry positions every single day. That means here, if you see, these are the carry positions at 3:30, whatever you see on top 3 addition, these are the carry positions. So you should have an idea, okay, from previous day, these are the positions that have been carried forward for the next day, right? That is what I mean by carry positions every single day. And for the entire week of the weekly expiry, you should understand from Thursday. Usually positions get built up from Thursday itself of the previous expiry. And you should understand what positions have been created and how the market is moving with respect to those positions. So based on that, you will have an outlook already. Let's say, so today 39,500 call got added, right? So if tomorrow market opens positive, that means that this long position is having an influence in the market, and that is a positive trend which has got built up, right? And 39,000 put also and 39,300 put also got addition. So if these positions are still below the entry prices of Thursday, that means that the market will stay ahead in the upper direction, right? So that is how I'm saying you should track the carry positions every single day, and the bigger trend outlook you should be sure based on how the positions are getting success or failure, right? And from those data points, you also get support and resistance, right? So to say, let's see 39,300 put. Let's see how 39,300 put, what is the position exactly that got built up on Thursday. That is the last working day. If you see it is about 280,000 short side quantity at 387, right? So if I want to derive a support from this data point, so what would I do is I would take 39,300, which is the strike price, and subtract the premium collected by this 280,000. in quantity, which is about 38,913. So this is the kind of support that we are looking at for the bank Nifty. Right? Another way of looking at it is you just take this 387 as a resistance for this particular option. As long as this is sustaining below this 387 and heading lower or even accepting below it, so it is a clear indication of a positive trend in the market. So that is how you have a bigger outlook or bigger trend outlook on the market at any given point. Right? Now after that, so you should do this every day, track the positions, have a bigger trend outlook. Then when the live data points come in, so you will be in a better position to identify what is a follow-up position, what is an opposite position. So you'll be able to make sense of those positions in a better manner, right? So after you do that, so you can see the charts for these data points through price action and confirm if they're influencing the market and which direction they're taking using the price action, right? So this is a little bit subjective because checking the charts and concluding whether it is influencing or not during intraday is a little bit complicated for a beginner because it is a discretionary approach. It is not a rule-based approach, right? So to avoid that for beginners, we suggest that you confirm the direction through market opening and closing prices. That means, let's say a position like this 39,500 call, which got added at 241, like we discussed earlier. If this is getting a favorable close, then we consider it as a long side because the success is got on the long side of this strike, right? That is what I mean by confirm the direction through the market opening and closing. So if this same call opens on a positive note, even on Monday, right? That means it's clearly getting success. This position is getting success, right? Now, so the most important thing is how early you can figure out a successful position. So that is the core idea of it. So the core idea of it is to try and follow the big guys, right? So the big guys successful positions is what we want to clone, right? So how soon you can assess the successful positions, that much benefit you will get because you will try to get the entry early and you can clone the direction and you can get the benefit to the max level, right? So that is the ultimate idea. So trying to follow the big guys. So we have a lot of data points, we have a lot of alerts, but identifying which is influencing the markets. The first criteria we use is that, so the reliable one is the market closing and opening. In between chart price action may not give you a clarity on some occasions, right? And if you're a beginner, you'll be confused most of the times, right? So that's why you prefer market opening and closing and how the positions are getting success or failure. That will be a very good thing for you to understand if the positions are getting success or failure, right? So if you can do it better using price action, that is well and good, right? But if not, then prefer this one. So once you find a successful position, you try to clone and you try to trade along with the position, right? So believe me, there's no fear of missing out. There's no FOMO that you need to have. It's not that immediately the alert comes and the market moves in that direction immediately. It doesn't happen that way. So the market usually takes some time, and in many cases, it takes till the end of the day to give a success or failure to one position. So don't worry that immediately the move will happen or such things. You clear it off from your mind because that is not the reality, right? That is why I am also telling, as a beginner, you focus on opening and closing prices. That will give you a better clarity, right? So as you progress, you can focus on price action also and improve your entries, right? Yeah. So now, so this is what the approach is. Simple. Try to follow the big guys, right? In some cases, it's very simple to follow the big guys. In some cases, it's a little bit difficult, right? Now let's move on to trading strategies directly, right? So now till now we have discussed how you can use it for your trading in a theoretical approach to say, or the basic idea of it, right? So now let's move on to the trading strategies that our users follow, like some of them implemented, right? So these things like gives you ready-made trades, right? And you can execute them and you can make some money of it, right? So first thing is Bank Nifty options, systematic option selling setup, right? Based on the alerts from the Bank Nifty weekly OI channel, right? So this is the channel that I'm referring to, this weekly OI channel. So this channel is programmed in such a way that it filters out the alerts which gives you the market direction directly, right? So that is why out of this channel, we have some rules for systematic option selling, and that is one of the strategy. So we have a Google sheet where we mention the rules for the execution of this strategy. So if that can be shared, so if you're interested, you can ask for it either in Slack or on back channel or anything. You will get that link that clearly mentions the rules for the this strategy. Basically, the idea, I'll just give you an idea. So the last trade that came out of it also I'll give you, so that it will be a little bit clear for you. So the last trade that was triggered out of this selling setup is, I'll tell you. Yeah. So this is the last trade that triggered in the particular option selling setup. So short built up in October 14th expiry, 39,000 put, right? So this is about 126,000 quantity, which came up at 402. So as per the rules, we had to execute this at this price and put and take a hedge of 400 points. That is, if you sell 39,000 put, you're buying a 38,600 put as a hedge, and you put 100 point stop loss on the combined spread, right? So that is the rules of this particular system. And this particular put has gone to zero by the next day. This came on October 13th, 9:30. And the next day closing, the expiry was above 39,000, as you guys know. So this from 400, it has gone to zero. So this is one of the last trade that has been triggered from the this setup that I'm talking about, right? So next thing is the expiry day hero or zero setup. So which is identified by one of our user only. So this we didn't create or anything. So from the observation, one of our users have identified this, and this is something which is very useful on expiry days purely. So the idea of this setup is that on the expiry days, anywhere between 1 to 1:30 p.m. We'll get alerts in Bank Nifty option alerts channel over here, which contains one strike where there is a hero or zero opportunity, right? Identifying which alert is that is your discretion, but it is not so difficult. Like if you start seeing it for some time, you'll be able to figure out. So, but I'll show you what was the last hero or zero that we had on Thursday. So these alerts are only from 1 to 1:30 or 1:40. So during those 30-40 minutes, from those alerts, we figure out what is this hero zero opportunity, and we try to play that. Right. So I'll just check for October 14th. So we see from 1 o'clock. Yeah. So at 1 o'clock, there are no fresh alerts, as you can see. Thursday, October 14th, 1 o'clock. All these are top 3 addition or reduction, which is a cumulative alert. This is not a fresh alert. And also to differentiate that, the alert which comes with a value like this is a fresh alert. Right? So at 1 o'clock, there is no alert. Let's see at the next 1:10. Yeah. At 1:10, we had multiple alerts. The highest quantity being 141,000 on 38,800 call at 101. So actually, this was the hero or zero for Thursday. Now after that, at 1:20, we didn't have any fresh positions, as you can see. At 1:30 also, we didn't have any fresh positions. So out of this, usually usually what happens is that the hero or zero will have a cheap price compared to others. That is one way of looking at it, because as you already know, hero or zero means that we spend less premium and want it to go higher, right? So out of this, 38,800 call was identified as hero or zero, and from 100 it made a high of 600, I believe, on Thursday, right? So this is one of the setup that we have. So only the alerts at or around 130, that means 1 to 140, 150, like that. So it depends on what kind of alerts that come in during those 30-40 minutes, right? So that is the second strategy, right? And the third strategy is from the trend day setup. So trend day setup is nothing but, if you see C versus P charts. So during early in the day, very early in the day, you will notice that one-sided writing takes off in either Nifty or Bank Nifty. So that you can see as an imbalance over here, like any day which is a trending day, you can see as an imbalance over here. So yeah, let's say this is 13th of October, right? So you can see. So why I'm not considering 14th is that we don't consider 9:10 to 9:20. So we consider it only from 9:20 to 9:30. So that is one thing that you need to notice. So on 13th, we'll see. So basically, we're talking about imbalance over here. So put side, we got a 3 million addition, and on the call side, we got 700,000, right? So this is a clean indication that put writers are taking control over here, right? So now if you go and check the 13th price action, right? So it was a clean trending day straight from the opening. Every period it was trending higher, higher, higher. So the open was around 18,050 and we had a close at 18,200. Right? So these kind of trending days shape up like this, with clear domination by the one side option writers. So that is kind of setup that we are talking about here. At the market opening, one-sided writing either in calls or puts leads to a trending day and can be played through option buying at 9:30. You predefined stop loss of day low or high and exit with a part profit and trail near market close. So here the idea is that once you see these kind of imbalances happening in the market, so you can take it as a trend day by seeing the price action as well, right? So that is a third setup that we have. And the fourth is that weekly option buying or selling positions. So usually what happens here is that the sell side or buy side, big money takes positions, and usually they sell options priced more than 420 in Bank Nifty, and they take it to 140. This is a usual every week thing that happens, right? And even in Nifty it happens. From options priced greater than 120, they take it to 40, right? So this is a kind of selling side I'm talking about. And even buying side, it happens so that from 140 they take to 420, and from 40 they take to 120. So this is the kind of thing. From the data points, you can see some similar data points coming in. Let's say some open interest is getting added above this 420 price in Bank Nifty in one of these strikes. Then you can track it and see if this 3:1 is setup is in place. So this is discretionary. So this is a little bit subjective, but as you progress, you will be able to make sense. So on the buying side, when in any day, if they buy options, they usually target 3x. That means if they're buying, big money is buying options at 100 rupees, they usually target 300 in the same week, right? So that way you can expect a move to come in. And same selling side from 3:1, 3 times to 1 time they'll bring. So this is one thing that this is kind of an insight more than a strategy, but you can convert this to a strategy once you are comfortable with it, right? Then the last one which I want to talk about is Bank Nifty 40K guy setup. So usually in the Bank Nifty futures, so we do see some 40K addition on the futures. So whenever this happens, so around 40K, not exactly 40K, 39, 40, 41, 42 also like does work. So whenever this sort of thing happens, Bank Nifty will trend in the next 1 to 2 days. So that is one thing which which can be created as a strategy as well, because we know that it will be trending. So based on that, you can create some position based on that. So that is these are the trading strategies that like our users follow, right? So next thing, so some important points. So in any alert that comes in Slack or in the website, right, don't focus on what the alert direction is. So if the alert is saying long built up, if the alert is short built up, it doesn't matter, right? The reason for this is that, so we are only looking for the positions which are having an influence on the market. We are not looking for every position to influence the market, because that never happens. Let's say you took a long, I took a long, or somebody else takes a long. So we are doomed to fail because we are not in a position to control the market, right? So that is why we are ignoring the direction and we are focusing on the quantity. That is how much quantity that the alert is showing and what is the price of the entry or exit. These two things matter. And after that, what matters is the position is getting success or failure, right? So long built up, shorts exiting, longs exiting is just the interpretation that is thrown out by the tool based on the price action, right? But that might not have an actual influence on the market. So that is a very important point to take note of. So only thing you need to focus is if the position is winning on which side, right? Now, having said that, you don't need to give importance to the direction in the alert or website. Majority of the option alerts are by default shorts, right? Unless there is enough evidence to conclude otherwise, right? So usually even after the alert comes, the price moves against the alert for some period and will sometimes get the success or failure only by the end of the day. So, but by default, as the option sellers have an advantage, majority of them are shorts, but not 100% of them, because we are seeing so many alerts coming on the long side as well. And the smart money is taking 1:3x on those trades, right? So we can't say 100% of the alerts are shorts, but 80% of the alerts are shorts, right? So if you're a long side trader, you should focus on finding those 20% of the alerts where the long guys are getting success, right? So now the third question is, can the price go against the alert? Yes, definitely it will go, because the market, as I told you, there is no FOMO here. The market doesn't immediately react to a position. It takes some time, and after that only it will move in line or against the position. So it is not an immediate effect that you see, right? So that is why I am again reiterating, initially, until you understand things comfortably, consider the data points on a market opening closing basis, which will help you understand how these things work, right? And also one more thing, don't jump onto big position size trades from first day. Even after you see 1-2 successful trades, don't jump onto big position size. Give time, and then only you can increase the size of your position, right? Yeah. So especially in range bound environments, which you can identify using C versus P charts. Let's say the 14th action, if you see the C versus P shows that equal sort of addition happening. This is kind of a range bound day. So on these kind of days, you need to be careful that you don't need to trade every minute, right? So you need to wait for the right opportunity and then only trade. And be aware of the bigger outlook for the week. That is if you track all the positions which got created with from the beginning of the week, you will be able to understand what is the bigger outlook for the week, right? Yeah, so this is what it is, guys, the demo or the presentation as such. So now I think we'll be open for questions for 10 minutes, and or let me complete one thing. Let me discuss some examples from this week, and after that we'll be open for questions, and then we can close the session after that, right? Maybe examples might give you some clarity for any of the questions that you have. So I'll take some examples from this week, So one example I would take is from 18500 put, right? So I'll just share with you. Yeah. 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 So if you see this alert on October 11th, right? And around market closing time 2:50 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. So you can see that 18500 put. Okay, not this. Even before this, I think. Let me go back a little bit higher because this is a follow-up addition that has come in. Yeah. If you see this alert, 162,400 quantity of 18500 put at the closing 20 minutes of the market on October 8th, which is Friday, right? So the price, if you see, the addition price is 647 of 162,000 quantity, and 101,000 quantity is 646. Guys, please mute your mics. There's some disturbance coming in. So this is about, if you see, 260,000 quantity within a span of 20 minutes roughly. And at this point, Nifty was trading around, this is Friday, 8th October. Nifty was trading around 17,900, right? The market closing of 8th October, it was trading around 17,900, which is a 600 points in the money at that point of time, right? So if you see, this position has influenced the market in such a way that, so right now, if you see, we are almost at 18,350. So we have made a rally of about 450 points in a span of like 4 days, right? So these are the kind of influencing positions you will see at times, which will give you a clean way to trade with a target also given by the data point itself. So here this data point is saying 18,500 is the target, right? And one more important thing is it also says that it will come within October expiry, right? This is a month end option. And if you say this is one data point which is accidental or something, it is not so, because at the starting of the month of October, we received such data point on the 18,000 put, right? So 18,000 put from 600, we received such data point, and today it is about 70 rupees, right? Same thing might happen as well with this 18,500 put, because we are already at 18,350, and 100 point or 120 point move will make this also to a lesser value. So this is one example.
HGX 18,464.
Yeah. So we'll see on Monday, but you already saw a 450 point move here within a span of like 4 days, right? So these data points will give you the targeted price of Nifty directly, right? So, and one more thing, on Bank Nifty, we have a similar example on the monthlies. I'll share that with you. Okay. Sujan, when was that 39,000 put? Do you remember?
October 8, around 8/6. October 4th. Check from October 4th.
Is it 4th?
Yeah. ஒரு 26 சரி
Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic.
See.
Yeah. Guys, this one, October 4th, I think we don't have the alerts for the date because this has been gone, right? But if you see
Cut
here,
చేసేసేయ్.
Guys, please mute yourself or you'll be thrown out of the room.
I don't know, guys, how many times we have to tell, guys, please understand. Yeah. So this 39,000 put, if you see on 4th of October, we had a 250,000 addition at a price of 1584, right? So this was the similar of what we are talking about, 18,500 put, right? And today, if you see the price of it, or on 14th, it is 388. From 1580, it is 380, and still the quantity is getting added, right? So these are the kind of alerts which will give you the exact targets from directly the data points, right? So yeah, so these are the examples that I wanted to share from very recently, right? From the last 10 days or so. Yeah, so I think that's what I think with this, I think we can wrap up the session. After this, we can also discuss about the stock alerts once. After we take the questions and everything, at the ending, we'll discuss about the stock feature alerts also once. Guys, if you have any questions, please drop in the chat box, or even you can ask in the voice as well, if you prefer so. So yeah, so we can go ahead with the questions, guys. Yeah. Yes, Rajamani, you can ask your question. I think I see you raising hand, so you can ask your question. Can you please type in the question fully?
Yes, yeah, I got unmute now. I just want to understand how the gap up in the morning or gap down will be chosen. I mean, is there a writing happen in the out of the office? I mean, out of the trading hours?
No, I didn't understand your question. So please repeat it.
Okay. We expect a gap up or gap down on the next day trading day. If that happens due to a writing which is taking place in after trading hours, is that happens, or how would the gap up will be decided?
No, gap up or gap down happens from the previous day's positions itself, because within after the market closes, there is no way to create positions, right? So from previous
But
day
there
itself,
will be
the bias gets
trading
created. Yeah.
hours, right? In SGX.
No, SGX and all move, that is okay, but that is not the actual full trading, right? So it is just a derivative trading.
Okay.
I mean, when our market opens, even cash segment stocks get traded, right?
So you're saying whatever open interest available between 3:30, we can take it that for next day.
Yes.
gap up or gap down.
Whatever is there on the market closing, that is valid even for the next day.
So what all why we need to take it in consideration? Just Nifty and Bank Nifty.
Yeah, if whatever instrument that you're trading in, basically. So if you're trading
Okay.
Nifty, otherwise Bank Nifty, or else if you're taking stock, then stock.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So I have one more question in the chat box.
Yeah. Duration of alert, duration gap. The alert comes every 10 minutes, right?
Okay.
And impact on the price action, as in, see, the price action is your discretion. Like if you have a valid understanding of price action, but that doesn't come from day one, because these alerts might be new to you, right? So you will take some time to sync both of them. So till that time, I would suggest to use the opening and closing prices to confirm the.
Currently, I'm using that only opening and closing only.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to understand. Once I get the alert of a 14 crore, 10 crore, so it will impact on price action immediately, or it will take?
No. It will not impact immediately. That's what I was saying. It will not impact immediately on the same day. but it will definitely impact in the short term within 2-3 days. Yeah, so it will not. It is not the case that it will impact the next minute or the next second. It is not that way.
So it's on same day, right?
Yeah, by closing you will have that. By closing, it will definitely have an impact.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a
So-
question. Can I?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, no, so the last 30 minutes of the trade, we can conclude that next day is a gap up or gap down.
Yeah, you can arrive from the data points. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
If it is gap down also, gap up also, the immediate 15 minutes the portion gets reversal. We have seen that SGX Nifty trading at 350 down, 300 down, and 250 down. But while opening the market, it has completely coming to the to a level which yesterday has closed, right? So if there is gap up, gap down also, then immediately the positions which are built on the positive side will get recovered as move as per the big money.
Okay.
So the previous day OI is impact very much.
Yes.
Yes.
Can we seeing the alerts for a day by maybe in 1 month time? We can understand this in the next day is a gap up or gap down.
No. Actually, there is no availability of 1 month back alerts, but you can analyze it from whatever the available data. Usually, what happens is even if it's as Sujan mentioned, even if it is an opposite open, the market gets into the previous day's direction well within like opening minutes. So basically, if you are having a naked position, then maybe you'll get a fear of being wrong. But if you're in a spread or something, then there's no need to worry until the data point is still showing a valid direction. So usually what happens is the market will create a boundary. Okay, so let's understand this a bit better. Okay, I'll take an example and show you. Yeah. If you see, this is the 13th October Bank Nifty 39,000 put data, right? So it says 123,975 at a price of 367, right? This is what has been carried for the next day, and that day's close was 400, right? So now, if next day market is opening, let's say positive, right? Market is opening positive, then what happens is that this price or around this price will be the higher boundary for the day, right? So if you see on 14th, the opening 10 minutes, the high made was 402, right? And from there, we never made a high greater than that, right? What I'm talking about here is the boundaries from the option prices, which will give a support or resistance to the market, right? So that is one way you can use, okay, if the direction is still valid or not. So until the option price breaks out of the previous day's addition, so there's literally nothing to worry about the direction. So maybe a spot price, futures price might lie, but the option price still confirms you what is the direction. So maybe there might be another example. Let me, I want to look for a more, yeah, this is 500,000. High quantity is what I was trying to look for. This is 200. This is 46. Yeah. So this is 500,000 at a price of 192.5. Right. Now what happens is at the opening we were never close to this price. At opening 204 was the high, open high, and then we just trend down continuously. Right. So based on this, you can understand what is the direction playing out in the market, and these previous days prices you can keep as a boundary for defining the direction. Right. Usually they will try to defend it from the previous days prices. So we can't exactly say that same open will come next day, but they will definitely defend the previous day's positions from the previous day. Any other questions, guys?
Please text it in your text box so that we will understand if there are any questions. You can speak.
So this is a you can subscribe to this on the website on OIAnalytics.in. You can register there, and you can reach out to either me or Srujan. And after subscription, you will be added to the Slack chat.
The price will be shared here. So price will be OI plus commentary. We are keeping it. We are giving commentary in the clubhouse. So it will be daily. So the price will be around 2000 for both the things. For only OI, where you need to, if you understand how to build the positions, so it is costing you 1500. Only commentary, it is costing you 1000 rupees. And you can reach us our numbers. So this is my number. And full support will be given till you have learned it. So the number would be.
Yeah, Srujan.
So you can reach out on our numbers. So which is on text box, and prices also is there in the text box. So if you decided to come forward and join with us, you are always welcome. So it's like winning you and winning by us. It's like win-win situation. So guys, if you don't have anything, we can wind up in another 5 minutes.
Yes, guys. If you have any questions, feel free. And one thing we can say is that this is a reliable tool. We are not boasting about it because there are already users who are using and making benefit. So it's only about your choice. So if you are really looking for something which will help you, then this is the one. And as Rujan mentioned, we'll give all the support until you become familiar with all this. So we'll be there with you and we'll support you basically.
So are we discussing about stock future?
Okay, just a minute. I will share the option selling Google Sheet somebody asked for. After that, I'll discuss the stock. Yeah. So I'm sharing the link in the chat box. You can take from there. This is only for the Bank Nifty option selling. Fine. That's it, guys. If anybody doesn't have questions, we'll discuss stock feature alerts briefly, and then we can wind up the session. Anybody have any questions? Either drop in the chat box or ask that. So basically, let's move on to stock feature alerts, right? So some people were saying like the how to exactly use the stock features and all that stuff, right? So basically, the idea of the stock feature alerts is that it gives you the stocks which will have a good movement, right? So the direction of that has to be understood from the price action, right? Now, the price action is kind of discretionary, so maybe you will not be able to appreciate it always, but there is some basic rules that you can follow to avoid a losing trade, right? So let's take an example of Godrej Properties, which has repeated 3 times in the first 30 minutes, right? So now let's check the chart of this Godrej Properties. Right. So if you see here, the Godrej Properties, the first 3 alerts. So this is the price action. And if you see from the third, this is a 30-minute chart, by the way. So, and from the third candle, it started trending lower, right? So now you might ask me, so what is the exact point of my entry and how long should I hold it? So now all these questions, right? So for me, by seeing this one at 9:30 as an alert, right? By seeing this one as an alert at 9:30 or 9:40, 9:50, because it has repeated 3 times. The first thing that I would consider is this 4% move is very big, right? But that is not just it. The next 30-minute candle doesn't have a follow-up, right? So I would wait for it to reverse and move in the same direction as the first candle, right? So now this might sound a little bit so case to case basis, but this is what I could say. One simple rule that you can follow is, so the price should like to trade above VWAP. So as long as the price is sustaining above VWAP with a positive sentiment, right, then that is a good candidate for your trade on the long side, right? This is one rule that I follow. And one more rule I would say is that, so these yellow candles that you see here, so usually what you're seeing is green and red, but this yellow candles is something which is coming from a high volume moves, basically, right? So here there's an indicator called big money. There's an indicator big money, right? So I use this. We have created this on TradingView, so you can make use of this. So how it will help you is, it will help you identify the area of support or resistance, right? So how exactly that works out is, see, let's say this 30-minute candle is a yellow candle, right? So the low of this yellow candle is a support, basically, right? And this 30-minute candle is a red candle, right? This high of this candle is a resistance. So a move above this resistance is a breakout, right? A support or taking support at this low is a pullback trade that you have, right? So having said that, on Godrej Properties, if you wanted to trade, so you should have bought it near the support when it was taking support near the low of the yellow candle. So this is some ground rules which you can follow, which will put you out of losing trades at least, because just chasing the price in all cases doesn't help, right? So this is one example. I will also share REC Limited, which has worked out. Basically, Godrej Properties, somebody was saying it didn't work out. The reason is, first candle is a yellow candle green, and the next immediately sellers have come in, and from that point it didn't get any follow up on the buy side, and finally here it came took support at after 2 o'clock. After that, it didn't made much move, right? Now let's take REC and see what happened there. because somebody had made money on REC. Now, so this is what happened on REC. On 11th October 9:15, there is a red candle with a yellow color, right? On 14th October, right, we had a breakout at 10:45, yellow candle above this red candle, right? And at this point, this is a breakout and it has rallied too much from there, right? This is a perfect setup because you are buying a breakout here, correct? Above the resistance. So give some context to the like to your trades on stock futures. Basically, the first criteria that one needs to look at is it should appear continuously in the alerts, right? Now let's take one more example.
Check the alert, show the alert, from first alert 11:30, REC continuously came.
Yeah, that came. I am showing that. See, REC came at 10:50. So this is the breakout time. Exactly at 10:50, we got that breakout, right? So this is where we got that breakout. And after that, it started coming continuously in the alerts, right? I'll show one more example. The previous day, Canara Bank was continuously coming in the alerts on 13th October, right? So now let's take Canara Bank here. So this is Canara Bank on it was doing. So yeah. So Canara Bank, if you see, these are all yellow candles with buying, right? So it was taking support at the low of this yellow candle. So it was here, you can see clearly a pin bar candle on 30 minutes. It was taking support here and it was continuously coming in the alerts. So this is the accumulation that is happening in this stock, right? So from 186, next day it made a move of about 3% or 4%. Right? So these are the kind of setups that will give you a low risk, high reward opportunities. Right? So this is how like you can consider using it. If you have a better approach of doing it, well and good. But this is something which for those who doesn't have any approach or are confused, so those people can make use of this. Yes. I'll make it open, dear. Yeah. I think now you should be able to access that sheet. Right? Yeah, I think that's it, guys. If anybody like no one has questions, then I think we can wrap up the session for today.
Sudhir, this is Vinay.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing 30 minutes for that stock futures alerts, will it be helpful on a 3-minute chart or something if you are playing only intraday?
I preferred it swing. That is why I have shared it on this one. Yeah, I prefer it on swing because mostly intraday I don't focus on stocks that much. But
Okay.
I never tried 3-minute, but you can try with this indicator. You can try. Definitely, it might be useful, but I can't say because I never used it.
Okay.
Yeah, these yellow candles definitely helps because those are the significant volume changes that happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me. This yellow candle, what is
This
One after
big
one,
money.
one after the one after the. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Answer.
Yeah. So just wanted to check with you how do we include this big money indicator?
I'll do one thing. I'll share the link of the indicator with you on the Zoom. You can take that and use it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, my question was the same. Can you use the same indicator in Zerodha?
No. Zerodha doesn't allow custom indicators. This is a custom indicator made by us. So you can only use it on tradingview.com.
Got it.
Thanks.
Shared, guys. Sorry. think why is it going to this guy always? Okay, guys, shared the indicator. You can follow the link and apply it onto your charts. And color, I have made it yellow. You can customize it. So by default, I don't know. I think it is white color. So in the options, you can change it to yellow or whichever color you like it.
Got it. Thank you so much.
So basically, if you go to settings and style, so here you can change the color to any other color that you wish. So I preferred it yellow. You can change it to any other thing. By default, I think it will be white. So you can consider that. Don't get confused that yellow candle is not coming. So that's why I'm sharing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have any doubts, any further queries, any further inquiries, you can reach
Yeah.
you can reach me or you can reach Sudhir.
Yes,
A small
guys.
request.
Yes, guys, go ahead. Somebody was asking a question.
I have a question. A small request. The link which you have shared about the Google Sheet and the indicator,
Yeah.
can we get that in the WhatsApp? So I'm not sure if we can access after this meeting.
Okay, sure. I'll share that over there. I'm right away posting in that, so you can check that.
Yeah, thank you.
Sheet need an access.
The sheet, I have changed the access rights. I think you should be able to see it now. Aren't you able to see it now?
Let me check.
I think people are able to see. I can see about 10 people on the sheet. So.
Yes. Now is visible.
Okay, fine. That's it, guys. If anybody has any other questions, go ahead and ask. Otherwise, I think we can close the session. You can always reach out to us on WhatsApp. If you are already an existing user, you can post whatever is your query on WhatsApp. We'll address the query.
So a quick question. The Sujan used to say the first 15 days in the stocks he prefer the selling, and the next 15 days he choose only buying. Actually, I thought it is a reverse, where the second half of the month the buying strikes will be decay more. How that will be preferred, sir? If you could.
Sir,
suggest
I told
something.
you first 15 days we should
Mhm.
sell options because the premiums are more.
Okay.
Okay, if you see the premiums first 14 days, if stock moves also, it doesn't premiums will not move very much because of high theta.
Okay.
Okay, the premiums are very high because of theta. So the time to expiry is more and premiums will be high.
Okay.
And the next 15 days, these premiums will get adjusted.
Got it,
Okay.
sir. Okay.
See, if stock doesn't move, then in the first 2 weeks, if stock doesn't move, so you will be gaining that theta.
Got it,
Next
sir.
15
Okay.
days, if stock doesn't move, also what you use is what is the buy amount that will be adjusted against spot price, and you will get a less premium than the first 14 days.
Okay.
Right? So the
Okay.
first 14 days theta will be more, and the next 14 days theta will be less.
Okay. Got it. On the selling side, whereas
Yes.
in the buying side, the theta is very fast in the second half of the month. So you still prefer that we can go for buy, sir, in the intraday, or 1 or 2 days can be sold?
Sir, after 2 weeks, you can prefer buying in the options. First 2 weeks, don't buy the options.
Okay.
Because of more theta, you will not get anything if the stock moves 5%, 6% also. Because stock will not move, so that already it has some premium.
Got it, sir. Okay.
Right? So after first 2 weeks of adjustment, the second week the premiums will get adjusted. So now it will move as per the spot.
Okay.
Okay, sir?
Okay. Understood. So with this, I have another question. Suppose in the start of the month we put a rent condor or a short straddle on the one
I
of
don't
the
know,
stock.
sir. I don't know about that. I know only 2 spreads, that is debit and credit. I don't know about iron condor. I don't know about straddle. I don't know about standing.
No, I'm coming to the filling question.
Yeah.
So we sold one of the legs on the start of the month. The price action takes place only. You say the second half of the month we can see some price action. So even it shows in a red or negative price action in the first 15 days, we can hold it. That's my understanding. Is my understanding is correct?
Sir, I don't know about that iron corner. And see, what you would always see, never carry with the options with the naked positions, right? So you have to hedge your positions. So if you want to go, if you want to sell, so what I do is, what I prefer is, I prefer if I am, if suppose let's take SBI 400 call is trading at 19 rupees. I want to sell that 19 rupees. What I do is, I sell that 400 call and I buy 430 call.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will buy, if I need more profit, then I will increase my strike to 440 also. If I am very restricted to less profit, I will do 400 call trading at 19. So I will immediately switch over to 420 call only.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
I normally go with the spreads only, sir. I don't know about that iron condor, iron fly, or butterfly.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Because first 14 days theta is more, so that we don't prefer buying the options. If you buy the options also, you will not gain, you will not see much gain in your portfolios.
Okay.
If you are bullish on a stock, start selling puts, you will be seeing very huge amounts in the portfolios.
Okay.
Because if market goes up, the puts will be decay faster than the rise in the calls. Calls will not rise, go up as a spot goes. But puts decay will happen very quickly, so that you can gain that puts theta.
Okay. I got the idea now. Thanks.
Yeah. So no one has questions, I think, guys. So we're winding up. So if you have anything, you can reach us, or you can reach Sudhir, or you can reach me. So our details in your text on the chat box. So thanks for your time. Thanks for your taking your time for attending the Sunday session. Always welcome for your questions, for your additions. So thanks everyone for your taking your time. Okay, so we'll just close it if no one has something.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Okay, guys. Thank you everyone for joining in. We are closing the session for now.